music, it's an outlet.
Yes. I do think you can have faith and not make Christian music.
What you guys don't realise, this is actually about God.
That changed my whole entire perspective.
You gotta start with you.
Lay your gift at the altar.
We use words, you love words, we all love words.
That's mercy in a way.
God is the reason why I've had success in my career.
If you didn't know God, I wouldn't be here.
That's how you teach the kids.
So we're here today, we're gonna have a conversation about music and faith and how they intersect. I thought now would be a good time to just introduce who we are, what we do, and before we have the conversations. So I'm Namesbliss, I'm from North West London, and I'm an artist.
Hey, I'm Ms Banks and I'm from South London.
Yo, I'm DEE and I'm from East London.
What's going on, guys? I'm Cristale and I'm an artist from South London.
And I'm Imrhan. I'm an artist and I'm from Birmingham.
The question that I want to ask is, when you look at faith and some of the teachings of faith, in terms of, let's say, even a Christian perspective of peace, how do we reconcile that with the culture we are from, which is competition, and even when you push it further, war and actual beef in that sort of way, whether it be lyrically, etc. And I want to pose that question first to you, Double. How do you reconcile faith teachings in terms of peace and being a person of peace with the reality of what it is when you're MCing and what it is as an MC to stand and be able to fight for your place in the scene?
I think it's more of a sport, how it feels for me from what I come to. So that turning a cheek thing is always involved more time in the sport of the real sport of clashing. It's not that regular that two artists do stuff to each other and beat each other up. It always ends up being the sport in the end, you know? I've never really clashed or felt that I'm in this thing where I need to do better than someone else. I always, when I'm on stage and I do my thing, I'm always just trying to do the best for myself. Yeah. That's how I kind of imagine it. But I did have a few MCs back in the day that when they used to go on the set back to back, they used to be thinking about trying to do better than other guys and murk and all that stuff. But that wasn't my mind frame. There's been a few little, I don't know, people just trying to test their thing, like, yeah, you're in money right now, you know. They're telling me I'm in money, and I know that I'm in money. But,
Like you had that.
yeah, it's just, it used to happen to go to next ends as well. So I will go into Brixton Mass, and I'm doing a show there. There's been situations that's happened, and it's just a part of the journey, basically. Nothing's ever too smooth, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta, even though no matter you come with peace, there might not be peace in front of you. You get me? And it's like, you gotta respect and get relationships there. And now you can go link your boys from Brum before the thing, get there, you know, and you get that, then you can start to feel at ease. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be going to different countries and trying to do your thing, because you'll quickly find out it's not your end.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Right.
If I think about like personal experience, like for me, I knew that when I came into the game in terms of just MCing and going on radio, it was hostile, but because I had my two older brothers, it was hostile with a lowercase h. Do you understand? The biggest thing.
You're funny, I swear.
Yeah, like, it's words, did it? But you know what it is the thing where it's hostile with lowercase h in the sense that I would go there and it will be, they don't know who I am. So there's animosity in the room because they don't know who I am.
Right.
But I understood that they're not gonna do me anything. They just, all they're doing is showing, we don't know who this guy is. Right. We're smoking up in the corner, whatever, they're looking at him like, what's he gonna do? And this is like 2015 times. This was like Mode FM, early, like Radar Radio days back then. You go there, they don't know who you are, there's animosity. Right. But I knew in my mind that the artists that I listened to when I was younger, it wasn't just animosity in the room. Someone's getting it's a different level of what could be happening. So I was able to like take that on my stride and think, okay, what's this? And from performing and doing what I do, then the respect will come from that. You understand?
Man, I had to pre what stuff was in my day.
Yeah.
You'd have to pre it, because, yeah, definitely a big H.
In terms of like faith, belief, even like teachings of the Bible, Christian peace, etc., reconciling that to then, I've got to be the guy. I've got to go there and I've got to show the level I'm at. How do you reconcile those two things?
When you say reconcile, are you talking about like, how do you like which one are you more or less lean into kind of thing?
Yeah, fully in the sense like, okay, let's say people sometimes, in my opinion, they take it out of context when they say turn the other cheek. For me, it doesn't mean be a waste man, but separately, people...
That's what I kind of gathered from it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I'd not be a waste man, but a pushover, innit? Like, when do you stand on 10 toes? Because I feel like you could be nice until you're not. But I used to feel like basically I had to just be the bigger man in every situation. And I didn't want to get defensive, because sometimes I feel like if people are saying things, and even if it's not true, if you get defensive, it validates accusation. Do you get me? What people are saying, especially if they're trying to get at you. But I realise sometimes you do have to draw the line in the sand and say, this is disrespectful. And there's going to be consequences if you keep pushing that. It's just choosing that, I guess. So I used to feel like turning the other cheek was a bit, like you never stand on 10 toes, but I guess you can turn the other cheek and still have boundaries, I guess.
Yeah, nah.
How do you reconcile turning the other cheek? So Christian teaching of being a peacemaker with the whole thing of fighting for your place in the game. Even if it's not like clashing, and just like fighting for your place and being assertive.
I don't think like turning the other cheek means that you can't confront the person kind of thing. Because obviously turning the other cheek, people take it literally as that you just turn and look that way. But that's not what it says. Obviously it says if somebody like hits you, then you turn them the other cheek and hand them the other cheek. So you're saying you might as well hit the other one because I'm not going to do anything. Kind of, that's basically what it is. But like, I don't think that means, obviously, quote unquote, just stand there and be a waste man. You can speak. It's your right to actually speak. I think that's where like people like misunderstand like scripture and the Bible, or people misteach it as well at the same time. Because when I read it, I was thinking, this doesn't mean for me to just walk away and be like, oh, it's fine. Like I say, I didn't like that. In fact, it's even appointed to people in the Bible as Christians to, if you have an oath with your brother, lay your gift at the altar and go and talk to your brother and reconcile it and sort it out. So it doesn't actually tell you turn the other cheek and just walk away from the situation. It actually tells you to speak. Now, once you've spoke and you've said your piece, like at this point, it's like, it's up to them. And I think at that point, that's where like God kind of gets involved kind of thing. Because I've had situations where I could have responded in a very, very, very dark way. Because where I'm coming from, I'm not coming from a place where it's like, oh, there's not much conversation before anything actually happens.
Yeah.
There's not really a time period to say, oh, yo, bro, I didn't like that. What? There's no time. And that's where I'm coming from. And seeing certain situations, bear in mind that there was a time when I got robbed in it, basically. And my mentality was, it's get back time. What do you mean? We have to get them back. What do you mean? There's no other option. And as I was sitting there and then seeing the seriousness of like my cousins coming and and them and what they had, I'm thinking, yo, I'm bringing other people into my beef. This has gone just because I want to retaliate. Like it's gone a bit far now. Like I'm seeing weapons in the car. I'm thinking people on there. I'm thinking, wow, like this has gone a bit far. I just want my chain back. Do you get? And it was a dumb chain. It was nothing. And at the end, I was like, you know what, guys, leave it. It's literally 3 bills for the chain. Leave it. And when I look back on that, it made me realize like kind of what turn the other cheek was. Like, it's not a sense of like, that person, I'm never gonna have that conversation with you to say, I didn't like that. But someone was send on the message, I didn't like that. But keep it, it's calm, it's whatever. And I feel like a lot of times us coming away from actually retaliating, like let's say it's a fist fight, someone approaching that way, you walking away is more bossy than you actually responding. Do you get what I'm saying? And in that space, some people might say, oh, you're a waste man, you didn't do nothing, you're not on nothing. But I'm like, who gets to choose who's on and who's not? Do you get what I'm saying?
I think it depends on the, I think it definitely depends on the context though. Because I think
100%.
for me, I would say, looking at it, like that teaching even of turn the other cheek is a wider context to that.
100.
Because I look at it and I'm like, okay, the Pharisees would say something to Christ, and he, like, historical context, he wasn't exactly at the highest point in culture back then, but he would call them a brood of snakes to their face, which takes a level of courage.
Yeah.
Like, so I even think, even when I'm, like me, when I look at, like, faith and trying to embody my faith within the industry and as a businessman and these things, sometimes I think, what would Jesus do? Not purely in the sense of it means I need to be meek, it means I need to be humble, but also means I need to be brave, I need to be courageous, I need to have the power and strength to defend what is important and what matters. Because I actually think what happens with faith sometimes is people who are cowards spiritualize their cowardice. So then what happens, it becomes I'm passive, and I'm probably not going to do anything to confront anyone anyway, and I'm going to spiritualize it and say that's the more holier thing to do.
Do you know
I
what?
don't think you're doing that, by the way.
No,
but
no,
I think that's something that's done, and unfortunately, I think, like, even faith has a bad rap because of it, because then it's like, if we're moving with a level of assertiveness, it's almost like, nah, you're meant to be a doormat, you're a Christian, you're a Christian.
But that's the thing, and that's the thing where I'm like, I don't agree with you just letting things and letting anything slide, because imagine if
Christians are from war.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing.
War.
And the thing is, being a coward,
war. It's in you.
Yeah. Being a coward in the Bible, in fact, is actually
bad.
When it lists in the Revelation the type of people that are going to rest in fire for the eternal life.
It says
Cowards.
cowards
It
too.
says
It says cowards?
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
cowards.
So then at that point, it's like, you can't, like, she said, oh, nice, I love that.
And look what they said. Look what they said they wanted to happen to them, to burn.
Yeah.
Is that not war? Do you want to burn one of your enemies?
Nah, that's not.
Right, but this is what it said there. Yeah, all the cowards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frowned upon.
But you're gonna see them burn, unless it's just a wish, just in a different way, not literally, basically, like karma. You know what? If it's karma, don't worry, they will burn. Or the karma one.
Obviously, as a believer, I believe in heaven and I believe in hell at the end of the day.
Okay,
and I
so-
think, crazy enough, to answer that, this is probably going off in a tangent. I had a dream where I was talking to God in the dream, I was on a car park, like them storied car parks. I was on the top floor talking to him, second floor talking to him, third floor I'm thinking, yo, you've been with me for this long, let me see what it's like without you. I went to the next thing. I woke up here for about 2 minutes. I'm staring at the wall, crying. I couldn't make a sound. My wife's like, you okay, you okay? I couldn't move. And that's when I felt like I was burning in that dream, not having a connection with God.
Oh, wow.
And that for me was hell. That's when I was like, hell's what? I would have preferred burning with fire, at least have company with the flame.
Yeah.
But having, like, God not being there, and me asking, let me see what it's like without you. Jeez, never again. That changed my whole entire perspective on everything. And again, before then, I probably would have responded like a bit differently. But when I realized that me coming out of character, people being able to trick me out of my position just because of I'm angry and how I feel, me not being able to die to my flesh is me also being weak, not actually strong. Do you get what I'm saying? So then I was like, bro, like, it makes more sense now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even though, like, we're gonna get tested all the time. I got tested at the train station when I went to. Did you hear what I was saying to these?
No.
I was in the train station, and I went to go get headphones. I forgot mine because let me get some headphones so I can just listen to some music or something. And I was like, I said to the lady, "Excuse me, can I have these headphones?" She was like, "I need to get the key."
My attitude for
I'm
no
like,
reason.
I know you need to get the key, that's what I'm asking you to. I might have figured it right, like, okay. And then she took up the headphone and she walked to me. Imagine if I wanted to get juice. She walked the headphones over to the counter, she scanned it and stood there and said, hey, are you gonna pay now, aren't you? I said, wow. I said, let me get a chewing gum. I got my chewing gum, and I just scanned my thing. In my hand, I was thinking, I could respond in a very different way.
Yeah.
But at the time, through wisdom, I was like, you're not actually worth my time. Let me take my stuff. I just want my headphones. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of it is to do with wisdom, like how you handle stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? But has any of you that had any situations where you...
Like I think on a more personal one, if we're going to talk, I think on even more like, because I think this stuff does matter, particularly with like personal relationships or business relationships or things like that. I think faith can put pressure on, like the reality of it is not pretty, but the faith can put pressure on that because I know I've lost out on a lot of things because of faith. Like I've had to, I've not had to, but I've chosen a different road whilst knowing what I could have done and knowing where that could have even, what that could have even done for me career-wise. Like, that's like even like,
bro.
yeah, like, we want to go there, you might as well go there. Like, like, I think like that's the thing for me. Like, oh, my man said this, you know, you can do us, like I know what I can do with my pen. And I'm thinking, I actually follow my faith. How can I justify speaking death on another man like that, even lyrically? How can I justify it? So sometimes it's like, and then from that, I'm then like, that's where faith can sometimes be even a sacrifice, because where you would navigate it head on and just be, boom, like how I would have been before when I started out, it's almost like I don't believe in those things anymore. So it might look mad that I'm not taking this opportunity, but it's based on my convictions. Do you know what I mean? So,
How about you, Cristale?
You say?
For me, I feel like they say all is fair in love and war.
Period.
And there's a thin line between love and hate. And I just feel like competition, retaliation, and war are all very different things that monitor the same space. A competition is just a bunch of people seeing like who can complete the objective the fastest. War is to death. War is, it's me or you in any capacity, whether it's knife for knife, gun for gun, pen for pen, it's me or you. It's career ending, it's life ending, it's life threatening. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I personally feel like, for me, I don't partake in clashing, none of that. You'll see me on a cypher, but cypher's more friendly, you get what I mean?
That's competition.
So I don't want to be drawn out. Because for me, I know what my triggers are and I know what I can do when I get brought to certain points. So I would just rather not. What do you mean?
If someone tried to dish you on a tune, would you do one back?
No.
No.
You would never. This is what I was gonna go and say about war, yeah. I feel like if someone dissed me, yeah, I'm in this headspace now. People grow and change all the time. I can't talk for if it was to actually happen. But as I stand right now, yeah, I feel like going back to the whole thing about war being this you or the other person, you surrendering to what the other person expects from you, you've already lost the war. You get what I'm trying to say? But I will also say, within that saying that,
That's good.
it's the aspect of this whole turn the other cheek thing. Anyone within their right mind wouldn't send for me. Because everyone else would, I don't need to say nothing.
Yeah.
Other people would defend me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't need to say anything, but all I would need to do, and me personally, when you say war and turn the other cheek and all of that, me sending for someone it wouldn't be in the conventional way. It wouldn't be in a way where I'm just like as you said, wishing death on a man and stuff like that. But based off of just simple fact and stuff like that, like being meek and humble within your responses. Not everything has to be like till bloodshed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I feel like that's what it is. And the whole, again, turning the other cheek, it's not always in the aspect of just being an idiot or being a doormat. It's also knowing when to respond. Because you can respond. You can turn the other cheek, but which cheek? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Which way is it? Are you gonna go that way? Are you gonna go that way?
Maybe it depends on the way it's coming to you.
It's like flipping a coin, heads or tails. Are you gonna turn the cheek that's gonna make you wild out? Or are you gonna turn the cheek that's gonna make you calm down? Do you get what I mean?
It's interesting because it's like, I look at it and I think that there are teachings of faith that are incongruent with culture. And I think that's the unpopular reality. I mean, I've clashed. I was on a station, I clashed. I felt like I did well in the clash. I did what I needed to do in the clash. I've never lost a clash growing up ever in my life.
Never clashed.
But there's an element of, but sometimes you're taking off heads without even realising it. But you don't.
See, that's what I'm
But I
saying.
think it's a thing where what I'm trying to say here is almost like, despite the fact that I can make it sound like me turning the other cheek in the realm of hip hop culture
Clashing.
and culture,
That's
because
how I feel.
what I'm saying is that despite the fact that in more recent times I've let it slide, I understand that the culture I'm in is not to let it slide. I'm just speaking in terms of reality.
Of course.
It's not like
That's the truth.
rap and hip hop. Rap and hip hop is not congruent with the culture of peace, humility, meekness in any way, shape, or form. So I would be being dishonest if I was to say that
You wouldn't say
it's a W.
Yeah.
No, like on a faith level. No, I'll be fine to say I wouldn't send. What I'm saying is more so on a faith level, God might be pleased with me if I make the right decision. It doesn't mean the culture I'm in will understand the decision. We need to be real. Otherwise, what we do?
I feel like there's a line as well. There's a line between this whole warring and clashing and just responding to people thing, yeah? Because you can respond in a different manner. Even if I did a song back, my song don't need to say the same thing that your song said.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? In terms of darkness
100%.
and everything else. Like, I just feel like knowing when to pick your battles is very, very important, and having that discernment, especially when you have a platform. If someone sends for you that in a way that you just never expect it, you sit there, you deep it, you respond within your own way, but you don't have to. I saw a TikTok, the other day that said you have to be very careful giving people back the same energy because you end up mirroring their demons. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you're just like, keep the same energy and no, you treat people how you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, it's your standards. You lowering your standards to what the other person is doing to you and themselves puts you in the same realm as them, and then now you can't grow to the heights that you need to go to because you've accepted that spirit.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Deep. But with that in mind, then that means the culture, because again, I'm thinking about it from the point, because I agree with that as a human, because I've had to do that. It's funny, I've had to clash people where they're saying a mad thing and I'm coming with a witty thing and I'm winning, but I'm like, I could go there, but because of my own principles, I haven't. But what I think I understand from all of this is that the culture that we grew up on, of like this thing being a sport, which then goes towards a war, because it's ciphering in sport, but really beyond that, when I was younger, at least, I can say that when I was battling people, it wasn't just them battling them. I'm thinking, I can murk you in a rap space and in life. That was the thing. Do you understand? Like, if we're being real, right?
Same.
That's
So,
wild.
yeah, because it was almost like, not only am I better than you technically, you can't try it with me because do you know what I mean? So, and what I'm saying is that then, getting deeper in my faith, you begin to realise that genuinely that culture isn't congruent. That's in my experience. There's a dissonance in me now. Like before, I almost was happy about what I didn't know, because when I didn't know any better, it was just a free for all. Whereas now that I have deeper convictions in my faith, I'm like, I know I can. And not speak death on a man, just pen wise, like I know what I can do. So I'm just thinking, this guy sent for me. He's more established. He's vexed because everyone's saying something about me, whatever, like good things about me, and it's making him feel away. And that's a real scenario. If I pen, that could even bust me, but it's not my conviction.
Right.
I feel like as well, just knowing that within yourself is the W. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Knowing what you can do and choosing not to do it, I feel like there's more, it takes more, and there's more strength in the person that chooses to take the path of righteousness within that situation. And I feel like the only thing that makes music feel like a battlefield is because of what happens outside of when you have a microphone in your hand. Like, because not everyone can just, like, if I send for you and say something to you and you send back for me, we can still be brethren after.
But
not everyone's like that. That's what takes it from it being a sport to it being war now. Because you said something that I don't like, so if I see you on the street, it's something now.
Yeah, it's that,
Rather than you said something to me and I don't take it personal. And what I said back to you wasn't even that deep to what I can actually do. But you didn't like it and it hurt your ego. And when someone's ego is bruised, sometimes that's all they can see. A bruised ego, and they take it further than what it is just because they need to prove to themselves and to everyone that was in attendance and that witnessed that, and to you, that they're better in some capacity. Even if that means a life is lost.
And it can go, it can go there. What's your take on it?
Going off the back of what you were saying, Bliss, when you was like, you feel like, you know certain times that you can actually murk a man musically, and even like on a live team, they just can't compare to you. But you know in the same breath, it's not like conducive, that mindset, but you, because basically your point being you could just do it because you can, innit?
Yeah.
I think like sometimes I used to have that mindset, like I could just do it because I can, like. And even on a more like ignorant thing, I think when you come from the hood, you're just backwards, innit? I used to have that mindset, like, what? I'll beat you up, like you can't chat to me, you can't beat me up, like what can you say? You're not gonna. Do you get me? But that's not the mindset, because then I used to feel like, well, if you can't beat me up, you can't speak to me. That's not true. You should be able to speak to me. Even if I feel like I can take you on physically. And it can be like that in music sometimes. I used to have that mindset, like, yeah, anyone can have it because I can, because I'm so confident in my pen. But really and truly, do I have to keep proving myself if I'm really confident in my pen? Because music is subjective. Some people might say someone else is better than you. You might think you're better than them. They might be drawing you out.
Yeah.
But is it really necessary? And I'm not gonna lie, I've not been drawn out by someone that's doing more than me, ever. Ever. So who is it really worth it for? And we know that everyone likes to root for the underdog, if it's the case. So why am I
Not
gonna...
always.
Ooh,
but a lot of the time though,
though.
I feel like sometimes if you're the smaller artist in a beef, you have less to lose.
Yeah,
because
you have leverage.
you can take away that person's rep with the right thing or saying the wrong thing. You can take away that other artist's rep. Do you get me? And it's mad because rap also comes from battle rap. We kind of have that inherently in us. Even when I started, I used to be sending for all the girls I beefed in the ends. I was talking smack. It was never about other female rappers, ever. It was more so like, I had this situation growing up, like bun this other girl, like I was just talking hella crud, and that's how I got out my anger. And I think people thought that because it was so raw and so raw, but then it's kind of like paradox, because you get to a point in rap where you become someone and you have something to lose, and you may still carry that same energy you had from the hood. So people want to test you a gangster, but you're not really in a position to actually do things now in real life.
In the same way now, because you have something to lose,
I have something to lose, and also I didn't do all this makeup and hair to everything to go and fight in a real life.
Do you know what I think as well? Also, like, it's knowing the difference too. Do you get what I'm trying to say with what you said, and understanding that music is also it's an outlet.
Yes.
So just because there was a situation with someone, I didn't say your name, but I spoke about it, I'm not sending for you.
Yeah.
It's just my outlet, because I need to get it out.
That's another thing.
Do you get what I mean?
True. I agree with that. And I'm in that space now. And another thing I love to say is that if you do me wrong, you can't control who I tell that story to or how I tell that story.
Yes.
You can't. I hate when people are like, you've done me dirty and you're mad I told someone. No, I should tell someone about your bad character. I should warn others. That's the one time when I think that just gets a pass. That's how we survived.
That's mad.
If you done me wrong, I'm gonna let someone know that person got bad character, so you know when you buck up on them. But like, just my point being that, I know it's not rap cap anyway, but I still feel like people feel their energy even when you grow and evolve. But that girl that came up, that had nothing, that was just hungry, that wanted to express herself, that was going through things in the end, she still lives inside me. I may not make certain moves now because it doesn't align with where I'm at now, probably spiritually and as an adult, but I still have that fire and that.
There.
Do you get me?
You can reactivate if it was really necessary.
Facts. And
it can be reactivated.
And it's still my outlet, and I guess in regards to beef, I don't wanna allow anyone to draw me out, but I will say, like, I'm not afraid to draw the line in the sand if I feel like I'm being disrespected, because me personally, I just feel like for a long time I've played nice and I do out of the kindness of my heart, but sometimes people get twisted. And if you're a good person as well, you know what that feels like.
Because this was the question that I was thinking of, I was gonna ask all of you, how do you combat the position that you're in, the person that you have to be in front of the screen and in the studio with personal lives and personal relationships and people getting it confused? Because you might have been a certain way, like, for example, you're saying you was a certain way when you was younger. You're not that way anymore. Those people that knew you when you was younger either still treat you like the person you was then or don't know how to accept you for the person that you are now. Like, I was gonna ask, how do you guys find it? Because circling back to the turn the other cheek thing, I'm too nice. That shocks a lot of people because of my demeanor and how I am and how it's just like, I'm always just, do you get what I mean? People are on the outside that don't really know me are shocked that I'm too nice. And then people that know me are shocked that I can take it there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there's where it gets confused, where the people that actually know me don't know how to chat to me because I've never done you how I will do the people them. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That I don't rock with. Do you get me? I've never done you like that. So then you feel like you can take liberties with me, and then when I finally draw the line, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she spoke to me like that, and what, you're trying to look off the friendship, and yes, I'm trying to look off the friendship because I've given you one too many chances.
Yeah.
But then also, is it that person's fault if you continuously turn the other cheek until you turn it the other way?
Because you've conditioned them, haven't you?
You've conditioned them.
You've conditioned them.
Do you get me?
You've
But
told
then
them
again, you're enabling bad character, but it's still not your fault that their character's bad. So I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on that.
But this is what I'm saying, for me, it's understanding, like, and I grew up that way, like thinking that turn the other cheek was just like, oh, I let it slide. Nah, man, don't let it slide. Like, tell them, yo, like, you see the way you're talking to me now? Like, I don't like that. Like, and this is why I don't like it, because if it gets a bit too out of hand, like, it kind of tugs on me. So because you're my friend, look after me. The same way I come around you and I look after your character. I know what triggers you. This is what triggers me, and as friends, we bounce off each other, and if you're my friend, then that's cool. And if you're not, then you're gonna keep doing it. Like, if you don't love me, you're gonna keep doing it.
Drawing me out.
Yeah.
Real friends.
That's a real fact.
Yeah, that's
Real
facts.
friends, real family, they stay the same.
Facts.
This is what we love. We love the same person, the same. No, we don't want no one switching. Everyone else that's switching is people that are not that close.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? They just switch their position in my head, because I'm the same person. The outsider's thinking you're a millionaire before you're even nothing. If you've got family thinking that as well, then they're closer to the more realistic situations, and so they should know that it's still the same guy.
Yeah.
A lot of the, I agree with that as well, because a lot of the people that's been around me, from before I even started rapping, are quite confused at the person that I am today. Because it's like, Cristale, what? Like, when you was younger, like, you used to wear the ripped jeans and you weren't always dressing so tomboyish and but they don't get that. I have always been like that, just not to you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Just not to you. And now that I'm in a place where I have to be that side of myself throughout more of my life, to the point where that's like occupying a lot of my space right now, you're getting confused that, I don't know, thinking that I've changed up or switched up or whatever, but you just never saw me. Do you get what I mean? You just don't see me for who I am, which is the issue, because I've been being so nice for so long that it's just like, you don't know the truth. You don't know that I can take it there. Do you get what I mean? So that tied in with the music as well, like, they don't understand it because they've never had to see it. I've never had to do music before now. The hunger that was inside of me before used to manifest in artwork when I was doing fine art at GCSEs. Painting all the time and just being silent, listening to music, painting all the time. But now I have to, like, share my voice consistently. Even when I used to do poetry in school, you used to be able to see it. But it's just that now it's done to an instrumental and a tad more aggressively, or like I've worked on my cadence over the years, so you can actually hear what I'm saying. But like, people just get confused. So I don't know about you guys as well, just people getting confused with like who you are and understanding the levels to you as well, because it's like people think that you can either be one way or another way and not all the ways at once.
They're never gonna understand what way you are, because they're never gonna be that close. So they're always just gonna see what they see. You know what I mean? It's like real family, and real people will see the real stuff that, you know what I mean, just you. You know what I mean? And then the fans are not, they're not, there's just certain things they just can't know. You can't, and this is it. So they're always gonna not get it right and think, oh, you're on that, or yeah, but you're not. That was just that day. You saw me drinking.
It's just that day.
Yeah, that's not me, you don't know me. Like, I switch it up.
There's something to be said about like people switching up, and if I link it back to the whole turning the other cheek thing, for me, I would say particularly in the last year, I've seen that. And because for me, when I started taking my faith seriously, it was like before my faith, I was more of a hothead insofar that if something was whatever what it was, it would go from level 1 to level 10 very quickly. So when I started taking my faith seriously, it was like, I need to lock that down because I can't open that box at all. So I feel like with people who were closer to me, they might have got used to, he's gonna turn the other cheek, he's nice, he provides resources, he's the person that, you know, whether he creates opportunities or, you know, his patience has no limit, because at the end of the day, we've seen him and we've seen what he's like and we've tested him and he's always been able to maneuver it and turn the other cheek or whatever. But I would say, like, in recent times, it's similar to what you were saying, Imrhan. It's been a thing where I've had to be a lot more vocal and saying, nah, this is the boundary. And this is, you can't be moving like this in my space. It doesn't make sense. And understanding that, I actually think that is turning the other cheek, because I think not turning the other cheek will be me responding to fire with fire, but me simply putting a strong block there.
That's beautiful, the way you put that.
Me simply putting a strong block there saying,
that's how you teach the kids.
You see that? That's not coming into my space. That's healthy, and that's mercy in a way. Because I didn't do what I felt like doing.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean?
I needed long nails, my clap's not.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
I gotta remember
I didn't do what
as
I felt like doing. I felt like, all I've simply done is I might have sent a voice note saying, nah, it's not that.
Like that.
Don't talk to me that again. That's mercy. Because what it could have been entirely different. So I think that's what turning the other cheek is. And I also think the issue is because it's like sound bites and whispers. Like when we hear like religious sayings, often you hear the saying without the context. So when people hear about turn the other cheek, they don't realise that it was poetic language. It's not literally saying, if you get boxed in the face, turn your other cheek.
Okay.
So we go with a surface level understanding, and then it leads to what's I follow God to be a doormat then, which we've never been. It's never the thing.
I definitely agree. People got to remember as well that the act of turning, like, are you turning 45, you turning 180, and letting people see the back of your head instead of the front of your face. Sometimes you just got to walk away.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
To be successful, the hardship that you have to go for is the creation of your craft. This is the hardship. So for me, boxing, gym, whatever you want to do, you just gotta make sure you're doing that, and then everything should come around you and be like, oh, you look great, like, you should be doing this, or, because this is kind of what happened for me in what I do. I was just doing house parties, like just youth centre, murking, and it's kind of got around, went to the next youth centre in the next end, murking, anyone, and this is how I kind of got around. And I just feel that you can't just be indoors. I think there's an outside thing as well. You got to be outside. If you want to do something, you got to be outside, but you got to have your craft in it. So it's like, if you want to do ice skating, you got to...
Be in the ice rink.
Basically, you got to go there.
Practical side, isn't it?
My dream that I loved just got recognition, You got to start with you. There ones there, in your little room, your little self, and find people like you somehow, or just a little hub, and feel free with your hub. And then that's when you start to, once you've got a dream and you really want it, if you want to be a DJ and you go online and you look at the decks, Pioneer, 8 bills, you're on to mum. You're on to mum for 2 years. And it comes. It's only gonna be hard in there. The whole family's gonna know, the aunt's gonna know, and then somehow now he's a wedding DJ, you see what I'm saying? He's outside.
Yeah, no, facts.
Did everyone want to do music, or did everyone have a first dream first?
I had a first dream. My first dream was to be, obviously, I went into acting. And I kind of fell out of love with acting because of like just bad experiences in uni.
Hardship.
Yeah, to be fair, the hardship was even calm, But it's because I saw like how it influences you as a person. Like I watched a man change and couldn't change back.
From acting?
Yeah. So he was acting a role and it's like he couldn't come out of the role, and then I saw when I was acting like he couldn't come out.
No, I believe that. Look
Like
happened to
in
J.
uni,
Cole.
and you have to remember, we're doing this for a grade, so we have to get this right. We're not getting paid to do this. Like, we have to get this right.
That's a drama school, isn't it?
Do you get it?
No,
So
they
then,
strip you.
Huh?
They strip you of your personality.
Yeah, literally, and you can't. And then I'm looking around from miles away, coming to uni, and I'm like, everybody's mad different to me, and I'm like, this is not my normal space. And then I'm watching these lot change, and like, you know, the jokes are getting a bit weird, and I'm thinking, raw, like, guys, just chill, man. You know what I mean? And then obviously it continues, and I'm watching everybody change, because like the notion of acting is that you're never like one person.
Yeah.
You're many. And that for me, I'm like, I don't think that's healthy for me. And I kind of felt like I loved acting in that space, but I channel it in a different way now, innit, through like writing. Do you know what I mean? I'm working on a little anime series. Do you know what I mean? So
what about the difficulty part of the question? That be successful.
The difficulty in, okay, let's all be honest, innit? Nobody likes struggle. Do you get it? Like, struggle's not something that we was taught is a good thing, because it's something that our parents said, yeah, you need to get out of this struggle.
Right.
And I felt like success, what I've learned now, is that success isn't like over here when I'm now popped off and it's like, right, everyone's like, yay. Because I feel like I've succeeded more now. Somebody might say, you succeeded more in Lotto Boys. Yeah. And I'm like, no. Me and my mindset is where the succeeding is.
Yes.
Because like,
yes.
I have to succeed in my mind, if that makes sense. Like, it's a mindset that you carry all the way through. But I learned that late. I learned that now. Do you get what I'm saying? But before, I thought succeeding was how everybody saw me. But that can't be the case, because not everybody sees me the same way.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Somebody who's on like Drake's level, like, yeah, you haven't gone in there, my guy. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's a mindset, and it's whatever you do. So I try and make sure, like, even though struggles come, do you get what I'm saying? I always look at them positively, as like what you were saying earlier.
Yes.
And understanding, I need to succeed in this small mission. Do you get what I'm saying? I said to my wife about, like, you know, I have to submit to my wife also. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's a submission. It's a side mission. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's a small section for my main mission, which might be me going out and preaching and releasing music and that. But I have a submission to handle, and it's still a mission. So it's a mindset, man.
I feel like I get what you say about the acting thing as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, Cristale, you've acted before. Obviously, you had a major role in Top Boy. So I know you probably understand on a deeper level, but I feel like even what we're saying is subjective. I don't feel like everyone feels like that.
Subjective.
And I also feel like when you act certain roles that are similar to the life you've already experienced, like, it's not too far-fetched. You're not acting this weird character that's just off route that may play with you.
When we did Top Boy, it just felt like I was doing a music video for the song.
Right?
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? And like, even Rodents, like, so it's close to home. There's still a sense of reality from your story, the things you've seen exactly.
Of course.
And just to answer your question, I've always wanted to do music, but I also wanted to be a model at some point. But anyway, guys, that's another thing. But music was always my thing. I feel like nothing worth having comes easy. Naturally, I think we should all feel worthy of love just as we are, but that's like on a personal thing. But I feel like in life, if you want to gain something, I feel like there's always going to be hardships. And I feel like you always have to pick your hard. Sometimes I think, I don't want to do music no more. I know at some point I would have to pivot, but I really think about it. If I wasn't to do music, what am I going to do? Because I don't have no uni degree. Am I going to go and stack shelves? What am I going to do? Not now, but like, back then, what am I going to do? Because as much as you love music, it's still hard. The business is hard. As a creator, you want to focus and be in the studio all the time and perform and do the fun bits. But sometimes people that don't really know what it's like, they just see the glitz and glams. They don't know what it's like to be an artist. It is difficult. It's difficult putting creations out back to back, getting constant feedback from people, unsolicited advice you don't ask for, people telling you how you should do things, how you should be, telling you you're not good at what you do. It can be difficult.
It's winning and losing.
It could, it could be difficult. And sometimes I tell my little sister, people like, you must not think I don't have struggles. Like, people, because when you're young, you think fame and being an artist is everything, but there's a hardship to it for sure.
Yeah, people don't think like just because I don't have to leave my house at 8 o'clock to get into work for 9 and clock in and get paid and taxed that I don't go to work. Like, if anything, being an artist and working for yourself is severely more taxing than anything else that you could possibly do. Do you get what I'm doing anything, whether you're an artist, musically or creatively, painter, footballer, basketballer, whatever it is that you do that is in the eye of the public, is severely taxing. And I don't think that people understand that posting on TikTok is even tiring. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And like,
big up the content creators.
People might even turn around and just be like, oh, wow, like you're exhausted from posting on TikTok or whoever it is, but it's just like...
They don't understand.
So, to open up that portal of life, you're opening up a portal for people to just criticise you however they feel like it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The world, 7 billion people in the world, and how many people use TikTok, and how many people had a bad day and just want to make you have a bad day? Do you know what I mean? Like, people don't deep it, so, yeah.
I wanted to actually touch on what I was saying earlier as well. I do feel like, I saw this thing online, choose your hard. What is your hard going to be? And I think also going on a fitness journey, I realised that what's your hard going to be? Is it going to be you checking your nutrients, doing your cardio, doing your weightlifting, or is your hard going to be not checking your diet, not being serious about your exercise, and then struggling because you're overweight and you can't wear what you want to wear? What's your hard going to be? But you have to pick it, do you understand? So I don't feel for me that there's no way around it when it comes to success. Some people do get easier than others, but I honestly believe, maybe it's not good that I'm setting that belief, but I've come from nothing. I do feel like you have to grind a bit and there's going to be a bit of grit to get to where you want to be.
And you've got to be able to survive. There's a lot of people that can survive the highs and lows. You know, the life of it, because it's a seasons thing. And it's like, guys have just ended up doing other things that they shouldn't be and getting caught up. But you have to be able to kind of survive through if it's really your dream, you got to stay clean in it and get to it.
I think there's an element of like, I had this one lyric where I was like, I don't want to reach heaven, and Jesus says there were things that were left unwritten, and I was saying like, I don't want to die, and then it's like, okay, cool, you know, you could have done this. I think that's one of the drivers in me of like reaching potential of like, as an art, because even for me, like, I think the answer to like success being hard, I think it just is hard. And I think even for me, I feel very early in that journey, despite the fact that I feel mature in life. So I feel like my story's been very interesting in the sense that I've had bare jobs, different things, worked corporate, done that whilst doing music on the side, sleep like going to bed, putting my trackie in my bag, going one extra, then going to work 6 a.m. Like I've lived all that. So for me, is the element of like, I think, and as a late bloomer, I think because I feel like a late bloomer, there's the element of like, I'm not gonna waste this chance. Because I might not get 3 more, I might not get 2 more. And I think, you know, someone being nice or someone being idealistic will say, no, you always get chances. I don't listen to people like that because it's rubbish. I know too many people. I know too many people that were sick at football, bust their knee and never made it.
Check the stats.
So is that element of like, there's the ideal thing that we liked. There were the little quips and things we like to say to encourage people, but they're not based in reality. And I think, there is that element where anything worth doing is difficult, I think. And so oftentimes the reason why people won't get to certain levels is because they're not willing to face that difficulty. So sometimes how I encourage myself in a weird way is saying, if this is this level difficult, how many other people are gonna do this level of difficult? Because like there are artists there are artists that I'm thinking like there are artists that are cold, right? That you see you post on TikTok fairly regularly. There are artists that'll be like, I can't do that, and I won't do that. My art should matter. But you're not posting because you're not sick. It's not that you're posting because you don't think you're sick. Because you understand that in order for everything to make sense, this is just part of the job. I'm gonna bite the bullet. It's not like you enjoy it. You're like, no, it's work.
Well, me posting, do you know what it is, I just see it as, rather than seeking validation from online, my video can make someone's day.
It's natural.
Do you get what I mean? So I just see it like that, and I've never come online on no bitter thing or like I'm ranting about something. Not that there's anything wrong with a rant, because I love a good rant video myself. Like, makes me feel like I'm not alone within your rant. Do you get what I mean? But I just feel like, me personally, the only thing that I don't like about posting on social media is the numbers. That's the one thing, because especially now that TikTok and everything is a thing, self-promotion is encouraged, like whenever you have any type of business, especially being a creative. So obviously we use words. You love words. We all love words. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We use words to make the music, but the day that something that was based solely on words and frequencies and vibrations became about numbers was just like everything's just about numbers now. So just because my video gets 1,000 views, so my song's not good. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Mentally, it can be draining.
It's draining. It's peak and it's draining, and it's just like, I feel it as well for those that are not coming from a digital era. Like, I grew up in a digital era. Like, I remember specifically, my mum will be able to tell you, I was asking anyone, everyone, their uncle, their auntie, their sister, their dog, their cat, how do you use TikTok? Like, how do you make your video go viral on TikTok? Like, I don't get it. Like, I had like a couple hundred followers. I was posting like I started treating TikTok like Triller and like Vine and like all of them apps there. You just post a compilation of a video, post it, and then hope it does well. I remember when my first video went like a couple 100,000 views, it was a militant compilation, and I was like, okay, cool, sick. Like, I didn't necessarily like what people were saying, but okay, my video's viral. Now let's let another one so I can get seen. Wasn't happening until Bong Bing. And that was a different level of virality that I'd ever seen, like, from my career. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So for me, posting and stuff like that, I feel for people that don't understand how to do and don't understand as well that it's random.
It's random.
I have 1 million followers on TikTok, but not every video that I post has 1 million views. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The mathematics is nonsensical.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
It's true.
Do you get what I mean? You got bare followers, people that follow you and follow your journey, but they don't watch every episode of what you're doing. Do you get me? So there's that side of it as well.
Yeah, there's miscommunication.
Question to float around, innit? Do you believe that you can make music or like show your faith without making like Christian rap or Christian music?
I think so. I definitely believe God is the reason why I've had success in my career. He's definitely taken me along the way. I've definitely stayed prayed up, and I've always had faith. But like I said earlier, music for me is just an expression. And I don't feel convicted when I say certain things in my music because that's my outlet. It's like my journal, that's my therapy. So I do think you can have faith and not make Christian music. What do you think? Yes.
I think my short answer would be yes. I think because my belief is that God has assignments for different people.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I think your journey, like the journey that you have in life, is evidence of what your assignment is. So if I was to be laser focused on me, it was like, I became a Christian when I was in year 8 and I took it mad serious. And my faith stayed with me through uni, through everything. And my hardship was being very good friends with people that lived in a way that was directly opposite to me. It would have been easier if I just I had Christian friends, I went to church, I had Christian friends, but there was an element of like my interest, whether it be in rap, hip hop, just the culture, certain stylish, and certain things like that. My friends were just my friends, and I had to learn how to be a person of faith. And I kind of felt compelled that I wanted to be inspiration to them, because in a way, part of me was like, if this God thing is so good for me, they should see it in my life. So I stuck close to them in a way of like, they're gonna see it in my life over time. But that carried into my music, because I thought that my understanding was like, people in the world need hope generally, just life is hard. So if I want to be true to my faith, that's gonna look like bringing hope where it's needed most, in a way that doesn't create barriers for me, in particularly in my space, because like a lot of my fans, a lot of them didn't grow up in, like they didn't grow up in church necessarily. So there's an element of like, some of them DM me saying, yo, how do I get closer to God? How do I even navigate this? Because I heard you said that. So that is fulfilling for me in a way, because it's like, I'm not making Christian rap in that conventional sense, but
You're a Christian that's rapping.
Yeah, I feel like my mission is being achieved in the sense that people that are trying to learn about God are finding hope through what I do. And that feels like my specific assignment, versus someone who might make out and out Christian rap, that might be the assignment. Versus someone else who might just be a comedian and there's no faith element at all, but God created them to make people laugh. So they're just being obedient by being funny. Do you know what I mean? There's that element. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I totally agree with what you said as well, because it touches base on me, what I said before about just being a vessel. You don't know what you're a vessel to, but being obedient to the fact that you're a vessel is just doing your job and fulfilling your purpose. Like, you don't make Christian rap. You're a Christian that raps, but you might inspire someone to make Christian rap that will touch a nation of people that are strong believers of God, but might not follow you because you might not like occupy the same space as them, but you've enabled someone else to create a space for other people. Do you get what I mean? I just feel like you can praise God and have a tight-knit relationship with God without making gospel music. Because what is gospel? Do you know what I mean? What is the definition of gospel? Like, is it a song that's just got solely to do with you praising God and praising the gospel and using the language and quoting the verses, or is it just a song where it's
righteous?
It's a righteous song, and I speak from my heart, from within my church, which is my body and my temple, and I'm speaking out everything that I feel from within. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what is gospel? Do you get me? So it's about navigating that and then figuring out, like, what is it that you actually do? What is it that you speak about? And like Banks said that she doesn't feel the conviction for the stuff that she speaks about in her songs, and I don't think she should.
And
do you get what I mean?
I feel like that as well. I feel like sometimes, like, the amount of inspiration I've given people, and just in general in life, all different walks of life and different times. And then it's like, I think sometimes I think of my bars and I'm like, bro, like, this bar's a mad thing, this one's a mad thing, this one there. But it's like, then there was one person, he kind of spoke to me about my style, and he was like, no, because it's got humour. And then he started giving me all these different ingredients that made me. And then I realised that the picture, it's not dark. You know, then one's there, it's like, right. And then it's like I've had to understand that what I've given the people is like inspirational, good. Yes. It's good for the community, it's good.
Yeah.
And I've had to, just understand that myself.
You know what's so crazy? Just as you were talking, I got the maddest flashback, And I was like, even though, because obviously you're a mad barrer, like, you're known for just making sound effects and getting a wheel up, like, you're hard. But you know what's so crazy? Until you start saying what you're saying, you actually do have a wittiness to your music. I remember when I was in school, I don't know if I was in secondary school, probably, but I was thinking of, do you want to come to my house? Can't be in a long thing in my house, because Mum, she's soon come back to the house. After the quick got cooking it out. What?
Yeah.
I was like, he's boring, but it's funny. And you got character. Like, you're from the ends and you're comfortable in your skin, but you're funny. It's like, you do bring a light in your music. But it's nuts because until you probably said that, I didn't realise the character you hold. And sometimes you got to look at it deeper. Past the artist being good, what do they actually represent? And I just want to put it out there, like, I just got the flashback and Afro.
Because people would have felt like they can be, like, there'd be a whole crop of people that are influenced that would have felt they can be more liberated as themselves, or they could embrace that quirky side or embrace that element of who they really are, innit, through that. And it's deeper because it's like, I see it as righteous in the sense that livelihoods and legends of, like, even from your impact in the game, other people have gone on to do certain things which they just would not have done had they not seen you. And then when I see it from like a faith angle, I see it as like blessing generations, innit? Because I think it's very important what we do and what we leave, like our effect we have on the planet, like on this earth, innit? I think sometimes we box things in too much, whereas like, if it doesn't sound a certain way, it can't be, like, God can't use it. I think so. And even if, like, from a biblical point of view, there's a popular saying, it's, Paul in the Bible said, in him we live, move and have our being. And basically he was walking through a temple and there was a pagan temple and he picked up a random idol. And on the random idol that he picked up, it said, in him we live, move, have our being. And he looked at everyone and said, this is a pagan poem, but what you guys don't realise, this is actually about God, Yahweh, da-da-da. And I paused, because I like to analyse, and I'm like, hang about. You're telling me he was in a temple that had nothing to do with Christ, nothing to do with God. He picked up a random idol, saw a poem on the idol, took it, remixed it, and said, this is actually about God. And things like that bursted my bubble and made me think more in line of, yeah, what you're doing, Bliss, is right. Because you're in a space where you're speaking to people and speaking within culture in a language that's understood rather than creating
a language barrier,
lines of division. But to balance it, I also believe there are people that would have been raised in church community, who are zealous about their faith and figuring out their faith, that need the Christian rappers and need the Christian artists in order for them to have their thing. So it's just this balance.
To feel more comfortable with themselves.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where I fall in, kind of thing. Because obviously going from a space where it's like, I'm making songs about this batty, this girl, this money. Like, and the thing is, I wasn't saying anything that was untrue. Like, the stuff that we was doing, it was mad. Do you know what I mean? And how I spent like 100K on girls. I don't know where the money went.
What?
I just love the badness a bit too much, though.
I hear you.
You're making money like we
It's
know
deformed.
done.
Do you know what I mean?
No done.
And for me, at the time, that song for me was like, obviously it popped off, do you know what I mean? And at the time, it was like, raw. I find it funny because everyone's like, raw, like, these lot just jeweled off. These lot doing their thing. In my head, I'm thinking, you guys don't know, I'm empty. But I think for me, again, like, at the time, I think it serves its purpose. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, like, the journey that I'm on, obviously, God clearly had a different plan for me. And I'm down to do whatever he needs me to do. And I think I'm finding it, for me, as Double was saying, like, it's for me. Do you know what I'm saying? It might not be for anybody else to do, but as for me, like, this is definitely something that I'm called to do, because based on the fruit that's come from it, I'm like, raw, I'm seeing the fruit. And going from like being in the pews, looking up at the pastor thinking, this guy, whatever, to being the guy that's up there preaching to people and people like giving their lives to God, and I'm thinking, raw, like, I didn't think I was gonna be here. Do you know what I'm saying? I did not calculate this at all. Do you know what I mean? But I had a genuine experience, and my experience was still a journey. And the more that I'm getting to know God, Yahweh, Jesus, and understand how I am with him and what is my purpose here, it keeps changing. But not knowing that all of like, what do you call it, the residuals, people are actually looking at my residuals like, raw, like, this is proof that he almost didn't make it. Like the time when like I was suicidal, obviously this is, I'll just say it. Where I was at a bridge and I put my leg over, and this is my first encounter for me to know that God is real. And I put my leg over and my phone rang so, I never felt my phone vibrate like that. Picked up my phone, it's my mom. My mom was like, Em, you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She said, well, I'm still on the road. She said, Em, God is letting me know you're not okay. Come home.
Yeah, that's deep, yeah. There we go.
And the way I dipped home, I think for me, I didn't calculate none of this at the time, but fast forward like 4 years, I look back and I'm like, hold on. I was on the road where nobody saw me. In fact, I didn't even tell my mom I was gonna do it. I didn't chat to the man. The man didn't know. It was for me, I hated my life. And that's another thing why I couldn't do acting, because I didn't have I didn't have my own image. So I didn't know who I was to be going into acting as well. But yeah, so being at that bridge and no one being there, no cars are driving past, for my mum to call me at the time, I'm like, aside from the fact of I can say, oh yeah, this is her instinct, you didn't see me either.
That's the spirit.
And that's when I understood that how God works through people is different. Because she had a different purpose to somebody else, do you get what I'm saying? And through my mum's relationship, I was able to benefit off that.
Saved your life, yeah.
And I said to my mum, thank you for seeking God. Because if you didn't know God, I wouldn't be here.
It's peak.
And I think for me, that was like, where I was like, I want to be that, but like times 100.
Times 100,
because who am I going to save based on how close I am to here?
That's deep.
And obviously, you guys know about the whole prophetic thing. When you get into church and you start saying to someone, hey, the Lord sees you crying last week, Wednesday, and it was a time for them, they start believing again, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he stirs
And
up
again,
their faith.
even in the music, like all the music I'm making, like it's very, very prophetic, and I don't do all just Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I make love songs for my wife because this is Bible too.
And that's your life.
Do you know
as
what I'm
well.
saying?
That's
And
your
I'm
life.
promoting that this is
your
how
life,
men
Coles.
should, like, you know, look at their wife and big her up, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to anniversary time, what? You want another song, babes? I've got you. Do you get what I'm saying? And I want to bring back that time, because at the end of the day, when I look in the Bible, it's giving man rules and all these things, but it works. It works. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think like the work that you guys are doing is amazing, because you guys can bring the people in and then they'll shake hands with you, talk to you and start, yeah, something's different about you, what is it? Then you start saying, you know, I'm a Christian, or you might say something about God, and that's when they start clocking on, and you don't know that you're planting seeds. So everyone's doing their job, man. And that seed might be watered by somebody down the road, but you might have been the one who planted the seed.
Yeah.
It's serious, yeah.
Honestly, your story is amazing. I actually felt super emotional listening to you. But it's really a testimony for what God can do and what he's capable of. And I think just answering the question, I guess, from all of us, you're the only person on this table that has gone from making secular music to gospel music. And I think that's amazing, even though I'm still in that world. But ultimately, I do feel like we all have this image of ourselves, of who we think we should be or what a good person is. And that might be a different image for each of us. But the power is in you following what you feel that person should be, because if you go against that, that's when you feel like you've done wrong. That's when you feel like the conviction. And my conviction might be different from yours. But as long as you follow that image, I think that's the most important. And yeah, it's mad inspiring. It's mad inspiring to hear. So just thank you for sharing.
Appreciate
It's
that, man.
deep.